I am making a Blackberry Lavender Cornmeal cake. My standard cornmeal cake has a lot of sugar, has a lot of butter. It's good, but it's rich. So I want to do a lighter version of that, and I'm not using any butter. I'm using yogurt to help soften the cake. I'm using blackberries to get some natural sweetness from that. So it's just condensing down and swapping out some ingredients to make it a little lighter. I'm not changing the flavor of it. It's gonna be as delicious, but not as rich. All right, so I have 1 1/4 cup of flour in my bowl here. I'm gonna add 3/4 cup of yellow cornmeal. That's your standard cornmeal that you use for cornbread. I have a 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Give it a mix. Okay, put that to the side. Now for my wet. 3/4 cup of yogurt. So I like using full fat yogurt because it helps to soften the cake without using extra fat like butter. I have 3/4 cup of whole milk, 2 eggs, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a cup of sugar. I mean, it wouldn't be a cake if it didn't have sugar. I'm gonna mix this together. Okay, and now I'm gonna add my wet to my dry. Whisk that together. Make sure there's no clumps of flour, but you don't wanna over mix your batter. That's gonna create a very dense cake. So one thing that my grandmother really made a lot was cornbread. But Grandma, I'm about to tell the whole world your secret. She didn't make it from scratch. No, Grandma used the box stuff, but it's good. It was good. It just came from the box. But I mean, she added her own little thing to it. Sometimes it's just the hands, you know? It's the hands that prepare it. She prepared that box really well. So I just added a cup of blackberries. Now fold these in. I have an 8x8 dish here that I've buttered down. And I decided to use blackberries because they're in season. I love the texture that it adds. You know, when you bite into a piece of cornbread and you get a piece of that blackberry, but you can add any type of berry that you like for this recipe. So my oven is preheated to 350. I'm gonna bake this for about 35 minutes or until I insert a toothpick down the center and it comes out clean. All right, while that bakes, I'm gonna make the syrup for my cornmeal cake. I'm making a blackberry lavender syrup. So simple. I'm gonna macerate a few blackberries. To macerate means to break it down with some sugar to create a syrup. So I'm gonna break down these blackberries, mush it up just a little bit, add some sugar, and that's gonna create a natural syrup. Okay, I'm gonna gently mash, because I have this pretty shirt on. I'm gonna gently mash some of my blackberries. I'm gonna create some of that juice at the bottom here. A teaspoon of lavender. Now I love oh my gosh. Lavender adds a floral essence to this cornmeal cake, but be careful, too much can ruin the flavor. I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar to help create my syrup. Mix it up. I'm gonna add the rest of my blackberries in here. Give it a good mix. Make sure that lavender is thoroughly incorporated. All right, so this is not done yet. The longer it sits, the juicier it gets. And I want a ton of that syrup because I'm gonna put it all over that cornmeal cake when it's done. Whew, this cornmeal cake smells incredible. All right, so this is done. Let me grab my berries. All right, so this is a sure way to tell if your cake is done. You take a toothpick, you insert it down the center. If it comes out clean, it is done. I'm also gonna poke this cake because I want that syrup to soak inside of this cornmeal cake. Okay, I have my macerated berries here with my lavender. I'm just gonna pour it on top. And all of the juices are gonna go through those holes. Only thing left is to let it cool, and I'm gonna have a slice with my dinner later. I gotta get a piece of that cornmeal cake while it's hot. I can tell it's nice and moist on the inside. Oh my God.